Hey everyone, Sarah here from the blog StartSimpleAndStrong.com, where I talk about simple routines for simple living. In today's video, I'm sharing 10 decluttering questions to ask for an easy to maintain kitchen without spending any money. Before jumping into the 10 decluttering questions I ask, I'm going to be sharing what my definition of an easy to maintain kitchen is. For me, an easy to maintain kitchen has 4 criteria. 1, it's easy to prep food in. 2, it's easy to clean up after the meal. 3, every single item in the kitchen is used on a regular basis. And 4, every single item has a home. Those are my 4 criteria for an easy to maintain kitchen. What about you? What's your criteria for an easy to maintain kitchen? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you would like to follow along with my decluttering process, I have a free printable for you. It can be found at bit.ly/kitchen-declutter, and you can find this there, and these are the 10 questions that I ask myself as I'm decluttering the kitchen. The first is, have I used this item within the last 6 months? If the answer is no, then I will declutter it. And when I declutter items, I don't just throw them in the trash. I will either try and find someone who would like that item, or I will try and donate that item. So those are how I go about actually dealing with the items that I have in our home that I no longer would like. The second question I like to ask myself is this: would I buy this item again? And there has been so many items in our kitchen that I have bought and used for a short time, but later regretted buying them. And I wouldn't want to purchase them again. So ask yourself, would I want to buy this again? Am I keeping this item just in case? And again, I guarantee you could find things in your kitchen that you're keeping for just in case. I'm going to show you something in our kitchen that I was keeping just in case. And that is this Camelback. I was holding on to this for just in case. It's broken, it's missing a part, and I could purchase the part, but I haven't yet. And I've been holding on to this thing, oh, what if one day I need it? But it's been 6 months and we have not reached for this. So why am I holding on to it? Well, I'm thinking, oh, just in case. But really, I should see if someone else in our community wants this and can use it. Am I keeping this item out of guilt? Is there an item in your kitchen where every single time you walk by it, you look at it, you think, oh, I wish I was using that? Or, man, I spent some good money on that, but I'm still not using it. Or maybe someone gave it to you as a gift and you're thinking, oh, I wish I still used that, but you don't. If there's an item in your kitchen that you're holding on to because you feel guilty about it, I highly recommend that you donate it and give it to someone who can use it on a regular basis. Another question you can ask yourself is, would it cost $20 or less to replace this item? If yes, and you're feeling like you don't need that item anymore, then donate it. Another question you can ask yourself is, do I have multiples of a similar item? And do I need all those multiples of that item? And a good example is utensils. We had at one point 4 of these spatulas, 2 of the small and 2 of the large. And our kitchen's small. We only have 6 cabinets and 2 drawers in this entire kitchen. And we didn't have the space for more than just 2. And so ask yourself, do you need all of the multiples? In our case, the answer was no. So we donated the other 2 that we didn't need and didn't have the space for. You could also ask yourself this: could I double up 2 items in one? For instance, we had a blender, a food processor, and a immersion blender. I never use the blender or the food processor. They were given to us as wedding gifts, and I held on to them for numerous reasons, because I felt guilty, because I thought one day I might use them, and I realized that we didn't have the space in our kitchen for all of those, so I just kept the immersion blender. And that is something I use all the time, multiple times throughout the week. And if you have something like that in your home, I recommend seeing if you could double up 2 items in one. And the last 2 questions I have about items in our kitchen is this a seasonal item? Let me show you our seasonal item I had in our kitchen for the longest time. I had this in our cabinets, and it was only used for the holidays in December time, and I was keeping it in our cabinets. And what I should have done is put it in storage. So if you have items in your home that are only meant for a particular season, I recommend you move those items to another spot in your house or a different area of the kitchen that isn't used all the time. Because kitchens should only have items in it that you use all the time and not hold on to the seasonal items. If you can store those elsewhere, store them elsewhere, because we want our kitchens to be easy to maintain, and that's one way to do it. If I were to move, would I want to bring this with me? Even if it's something small, do you want to take the time and energy and effort and money to pack up an item that you think you don't really need or want and move it to your new home and clutter up your new home with all of that? And if the answer is no, then donate that item. I'm going to give you an example of something that we are decluttering and donating out of our kitchen. That is this koozie or cozy for drinks. And if we aren't using this, and I asked my husband, I'm like, are you using this? He said no. And so we're going to donate it because we don't need it and we don't want to move it to a new home if we decide to move. Again, this printable can be found at bit.ly/kitchen declutter. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love sharing about simple routines for simple living. I'll see you next time.